right. First off, I'm bad at talking to a computer screen, so bear with me here. Um, Most of you probably know me. My name's Rosie, 25, from Michigan. Um, yeah, the last like year or so has been really difficult. Um, my cat's down there making noise. She's cute. You'll probably see her in a minute. Uh, my mom passed away back in November. The hardest thing that I've ever had to go through so far in life. And those of you who know me, that's pretty impressive. um, I feel like the last year has just been me not really living, but I don't know, just having to deal with my environment and living in my surroundings and not really having any control over what's going on. My mom had cancer, and with cancer, that's pretty much how it is. You don't have much control over anything that happens. But I feel like, to some extent, that's been like my entire life. It's my cat. She's trying to get on the table. I get used to living a certain way, and something happens and makes me fit into an entirely different mold. Which isn't a bad thing. It's, you can grow. You can grow a lot from adversity and being forced to be in a situation. But at the same time, control is good, and I feel like to some extent we all crave control, especially over our own selves. Which brings me to kind of the thing that I want to talk about, which is mental illness. Because mental illness is something most of us have no control over. I will say some people have, triggers, which they can stay away from, but in the grand scheme of things, you don't have control. Which is scary. One day you can be on top of the world, and the next day you're afraid to leave the house because you're worried that you're going to get in a car accident or something. And I know these fears is something that we all have. Nobody wants to be in a car accident. We all worry about it. But with a lot of mental illnesses, it makes it like go from this much of a problem to this much of a problem, which sucks. And your mental illness can really control your life. With that being said, of course, I'm sure many of you know, there's stuff you can do to make it better, which the stuff is really hard. I worked out today. First time in probably like a month and a half, 2 months that I worked out. I'm really happy about it. Didn't do much, but it's a step. I got outside and I went to the gym and I did something. It's the little victories. With that being said, right after I worked out, I went to McDonald's. Once again, the little victories. But perpetuating that motion of your life is the most important. It's pretty key. On top of that, there's, medications, which brings me to something else. Don't do this, guys. On Monday, I quit my antidepressants cold turkey. I've never done that before, and the last couple of days have been weird. I went through withdrawals from my antidepressants, and they just left me. Wasn't depressed. My thoughts were perfectly fine, but I had zero energy whatsoever. When you have the flu and you're in bed and you just stay there. That's kind of what it was, except I wasn't sick. But today I feel a little bit better. So a week later. Don't do that. It's not good. But I do feel that my medication I was on wasn't the one for me. I went about it the wrong way, but my next step is to find what works for me. And I think what's going to work for me this time around is taking control of my life. Like making the active decision to go work out and eventually making the active decision to not go to McDonald's. It's very important. Making those little decisions, even if it's something, instead of staying in bed all day, you're going to vacuum the floor. Something little simple things that can give you the momentum to a better life. That doesn't work for everybody. Some people actually do need medication, and which is fine. But an important thing with that is to understand your diagnosis, which it's so important because a doctor can put a label on you, and it can be wrong. Doctors are wrong all the time. It's all about being honest with yourself and how you feel. Do your own research. I know, looking up information online about a medical problem doesn't make you an expert, but it can give you a little more understanding of what's going on in your body and what you can do to help. Which, that's really what I want these videos to be about. My diagnosis, I have borderline personality disorder, which it'll be a video all on its own. It's a pretty hefty personality disorder, and it's still widely misunderstood. But I also have been diagnosed with anxiety disorder and severe depression. So I want to do a video on all of those because it's super important. But what I want from you guys is more stuff for me to learn. I don't care what it's about. Ask me a question. Is there something that you really want to know that you haven't had time to research? Is it something personal to you that maybe you're too emotionally involved to research? Anything. It doesn't have to be mental health related. It can be anything, because I need to start getting back out there because my brain feels like mush after the last year that I've had, and I feel like this is something that I could really benefit from. And if you guys would be willing to help me with that, that would be fantastic, because along with my anxiety and stuff, I see all of these paths that I can go down, all of these things that I could research, all of these things that I could talk about, but I can't pick one. It's just all of these things swimming in my head. So if I see, oh, so-and-so really needs to hear about, I don't know, different species of whales, anything, ask me and I'll talk about it, I guess. I'm hoping through this that I can get into a kind of routine and help build my confidence up, because I don't know if you can tell, I'm really nervous in front of this webcam. I keep looking out the window thinking something's going to save me, but I did this to myself. Yeah, I'm looking for an outlet, and as many of you know, I do paint, that kind of stuff, but I need something else. I need something that is going to stimulate my brain in a different way, and who knows, maybe through this I'll go back to school or something. Maybe something good will come out of it. I'm hoping to hear from some of you. I'm saying a lot. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, so bear with me. My webcam is not the best, but I feel like that's not what this is about. I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm not trying to look good for you guys. I just want to learn and hopefully teach you guys something too. So I guess with that, I'll sign off. if you have any questions, if you have any ideas for me, please comment on this video. You can reach out to me on Facebook. If you have my number, shoot me a text, whatever. Anybody who gives me input, I can have your name remain anonymous. Or if you want to be a part of this, let me know. We can set something up. But for now, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the next couple of days. Bye.